Hey guys, that's right. Dee here is back with a brand new episode of Table Cheese with Anton Sixxx and myself. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow. And guess what? Enjoy the show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Table Cheese, episode number 42. I'm your host for this week, Anton Sixxx. Joining me, as always, we have the man, the myth, the legend behind FTO Nerd Talk, D. Murray.
Oh my goodness, it's good to be back on Table Cheese. Anton, I don't think you know how much I miss being on this show, man.
Well, yeah, we've had a lot of news since the last time we recorded this, and I mean, we thought 2023 was going to be, we thought that was a big year. 2024 is out the gate already hitting with a lot of the heavy hitters.
You know what? The thing that surprises me the most so far is the fact that the Suicide Squad versus the Justice League game came out, and the score wasn't that bad for it. It wasn't awful.
It does. It's not
awful.
Yeah, it wasn't, because
it was better than Gotham Knights. It was better than Gotham Knights.
Which is actually surprising, because a lot of people that I follow in the industry who played both Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad said they had a better time with Gotham Knights.
Ouch. Yeah, I think I also posted recently that Kevin Conroy is not going to be doing the last voice in this. Like, he's also going to be appearing in Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. You know, there's going to be a Part 3, but he's going to be popping up in that one. So we get one more Batman situation with Kevin Conroy, and I feel like that's going to be my goodbye to Kevin Conroy,
right.
Not this fucking game.
Yeah, because while it's his last performance in gaming, it's good that they didn't leave this as his final performance of all time.
Because that would have been cruel. That would have been very cruel to make that his final performance. Oh, yeah. Whew, because he was full on evil. You know, it was out of his control, but still, yeah. Oh, man.
But
you don't play it?
Oh, definitely no. There's too much. Even like the series that I'm not necessarily as tied with, like I'm looking at Tekken 8 because that just came out and seems to be doing well all around. Persona 3 Reload. And then at the end of the month we have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, so you know I'm going to be all over that.
That's right.
And as it stands, we're supposed to be getting a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth State of Play on Tuesday, and I think we're going to get a demo. So that is going to let me play the game even sooner than the 29th. So
that'd be fun. We haven't done a State of Play episode in a minute.
Well, there was a State of Play last week, so a lot of the big news, I know you were saying you were listening to a couple shows, but these are kind of in the quiet after the storm.
Okay.
So I should have a link. Let me find Chrome, and I'll bring up all the big stories that happened in the State of Play, because a lot of the bullet points I sent you earlier were some of the like highlights, but we could go. It's not that many things to go through, so
I'm here for it, man. I'm saying all this so everyone knows that I have no idea what most of these stories are that he's going to be talking about. Like, I'm going to be just as in the know about this as you guys are, because I have no idea what most of this stuff is. Okay.
Well, some of them, like, I'd be surprised if you didn't know.
So, I'm reading it now, but like story-wise, I had no. Like, well, this sounds really interesting. All right, yeah, all right then.
All right, so I'm reading down the list, the same list that I used for the Cheesy Controller episode I recorded yesterday, but this is the list from the PlayStation blog. It's not in chronological order, so I think it's in alphabetical order. That makes a whole lot of sense now that I realize that. So it's going in alphabetical order. So the first game on the list we have is Dave the Diver. It's coming to PlayStation in April. Indie Game of the Year from Game Awards 2023. It's finally coming to PlayStation in April. and then it's getting its second crossover. So its first crossover DLC that we saw at the Game Awards was with another indie game, Dredge. And Dave the Diver is now crossing over with Godzilla.
Go Godzilla. All right.
Godzilla's, he has a Apple TV show. There's Godzilla -1. So
He's everywhere. There's the Godzilla Kong coming out soon too. Yeah.
right. So Godzilla, it's a great time for Godzilla fans. They're really eating. And it's great to see him showing up in video games again, because that's been one of our most wanted Monster Hunter crossovers. Is like, put some of those kaiju in Monster Hunter and let us fight them.
Right?
Because some of them just would fit so well. And, we got a big new Monster Hunter game coming next year. So let's hope we get Godzilla in it.
That sounds really cool, actually, yeah.
All right, so the second title alphabetically is Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. And Kojima showed up to show a almost 10-minute trailer that just got weirder and somehow more cool as it went along.
Sounds like Kojima.
Yeah, so it really is like, so we have, this is going to be the next project we get from him, and then OD, the project with Jordan Peele, is going to be the game after this. And then he announced he's working on a action espionage game again. So Kojima's making a not Metal Gear with PlayStation, and it's somehow going to be involved with Sony Pictures. So that, just all of that news around, that's why I'm wearing my Metal Gear hat for this.
I was curious about the hat.
Yeah, I couldn't find my Kojima production shirt in time, but I could find my Metal Gear hat.
For those of you who can't see, he's wearing like the red exclamation mark that you see in Metal Gear Solid. Like he's wearing that on top of his hat right now. It looks pretty damn incredible. Super nerd status. I like it.
Gotta coordinate the outfit with the story sometimes.
Anton, you don't boast, but you definitely do, and you do that quite a bit. You do it well.
You gotta have the confidence to back up the shit talk.
Love it. Damn right you do, my friend. Damn right you do. But Death Stranding 2, I'm here for that. Like, I know they were talking about it like by the end of last year, but if I get like a trailer, I haven't watched it. I didn't know it was even out.
As a movie fan, I think watching this trailer, like, it'll make absolutely no sense.
Okay.
But I don't feel like it would make a whole lot more sense even if you played the entirety of Death Stranding 1, because it's that much of a Kojima trailer. But
check it out. Check it out anyway.
Yes, definitely. Check out, watch it in the highest quality possible, highest resolution, biggest screen.
Dim the lights.
Yeah, definitely. Because you're in for a ride. It was, I want to say, like a 40-minute state of play.
Nice.
And 10 minutes of that was Kojima.
Very nice.
All right, so the next game that I got alphabetically, and this is one that Radic is super excited for. One of the games that he is constantly campaigning for people to play is Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. And now, almost a decade later, we're getting Dragon's Dogma 2.
I think like one of the few times we hung out, he talked about Dragon's Dogma. He brought that game up. Yeah, I remember that.
So,
man, Dragon's Dogma 2. It's like, so what do we know about it so far?
We know that it's gonna have a lot of the same systems. It's just a sequel, because the last time the original Dragon's Dogma was an Xbox 360 PS3 game, and now this is exclusively PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. So it's going to be a huge technical leap forward, as far as graphically, as far as system-wise, just being able to do a lot more with a lot more horsepower.
So yeah, I can definitely see why Radek's excited. Yeah, all of that makes I can definitely see why he's excited.
Right, yeah. Getting a sequel to a game 2 generations later and just. It's Capcom. Capcom has been on a nonstop winning streak since
My
like
goodness, like year after year, it seems
2018,
like, right?
2019.
Agreed.
They haven't put out a single bad game in like more than 5 years. So
On top of it, yeah. See, now I gotta go rewatch a Dragon Dogma trailer to see what the old one looked like. We don't have a trailer for this one yet. Like it is.
oh yeah, we do. It's coming in March. So yeah, we know.
We got a full trailer.
Yeah, we have multiple full trailers.
Oh right, and some gameplay too. I'm guessing. Wow.
Yeah, I think there was gameplay even in the trailer from the State of Play. So
No
yeah,
way.
there's footage out there for you to look at Dragon's Dogma 2.
Anton, you're giving me like my game fix right now. They're like, I've been out of the game for 2 weeks now. Like you are filling me up.
Well, yeah, I got to keep you and everybody listening updated. Got to keep you up to the minute. Can't have you slacking.
Ain't have us slacking. Absolutely correct.
So the next game alphabetically is Foam Stars. That is coming out Tuesday, and it's coming free on PlayStation Plus. So anybody with PlayStation Plus on PS5 will be able to play Foam Stars from day one completely for free.
What is Foam Stars?
Foam Stars, I remember when we initially saw it, we were talking about it. It's kind of like a Splatoon knockoff, but it's the game that looks, I say, like a lot of people say everything looks like Fortnite. Foam Stars, the characters actually look like they're stolen from Fortnite.
We talked about that. That's right.
And so that game's finally coming out, and it coming to PlayStation Plus is kind of the best chance for it to succeed.
Yeah.
Because let's say it's free for the 1 month, a lot of people get into it. Because that's what happened with Rocket League. Rocket League Day 1 came out on PlayStation Plus, and you see where Rocket League is today.
Right.
So,
because like there are people who hop on those PlayStation Plus release days. Like I know I used to be like a jackrabbit. Like first day it's out. Let's see what games are out there.
Well, I always claim them on the app.
It was there.
The first Tuesday of every month, I'm on the app claiming my games. I have every PlayStation Plus game released since the launch of the PS4.
And you're gonna play it eventually. And when you play it, or one of your buddies tell you like, "Hey, have you checked out the new PlayStation Plus game yet?" Like that, it gets you going.
And for this to be a multiplayer shooter coming out in a crowded space, it would have been really hard, even if somebody were really like on board and like really like amped to play Foam Stars. It would be hard to get, especially with all the big releases coming out around now. It'd be hard to get people to play, to pay to play Foam Stars, but considering it's free, I know that first week, Madrid's planning on doing a stream on the Cheesy Controller Twitch channel, and he's already asking, like, who's going to be there, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it.
That should be fun. That should be a fun day for you guys, for sure.
All right, so the next game is Helldivers 2, which is a Sony second-party co-op. It's kind of like a horde mode shooter, but so originally Helldivers was a top-down, like you go to an alien planet and you're fighting aliens trying to set up a base or trying to gather resources or whatever, and it's a top-down game. This is late PS3, early PS4. I think there was a Vita version of the original Helldivers.
Okay.
So now we're getting Helldivers 2, and the camera is a lot more over the shoulder. It brings the camera way down closer to where it's more of a third-person shooter. Okay. And it looks really good. The only problem is it's coming out the same week that we're getting Foam Stars for free on PlayStation Plus. So
that's interesting.
Like Helldivers is probably going to be a great game, but that's definitely been shifted to the wait for a sale or wait for it to eventually, become free on PlayStation Plus, whereas in like a different release situation, it could be like a get in, check it out day one. It would have made a lot of sense for the free PlayStation Plus game this month, considering it's a PlayStation second party game.
That'll probably come out in a couple of months then. Like when there's a slow month. That's probably what will happen.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not within a year just for the developer's sake.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense, yeah.
You know, if it does happen in less than a year, that is like the opportunity to try and give it some life before it completely falls off.
I mean, for all we know, it could be like a year from now, February. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the next game alphabetically we got is Judas, which is the new game from Ken Levine, the creator of BioShock.
That's right. I've heard of this.
Yes. So this was another one that we last saw at Game Awards. Not the most recent Game Awards. I want to say that it was a year before. But Judas is essentially BioShock in space. And I know that when I say that, a lot of people will think System Shock, but System Shock is a lot more of an immersive sim, where this looks like it's going to be much more of a traditional first-person shooter without a lot of those like interesting elements that drew people towards System Shock. But if you're a fan of BioShock, some people argue it's one of the greatest games of all time.
BioShock?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that quite a few times.
Yeah, so for this to be the next game of the creator of that, it's going to be interesting to see. One of the interesting things to me is that BioShock came from Irrational Games, which was under 2K Games, which is under Take-Two Interactive. So it's kind of under the same umbrella that Rockstar is under. And NBA 2K. So a lot of those games are coming from Take-Two. And now
I know you got a hefty year, like with all the games that you're playing. But is this going to be in your list also, or you're not thinking about putting it on your list? What's your word?
Not really. This year there's just so many things already. We still don't know the date of the Elden Ring DLC. And that's going to throw a huge wrench into everything around it. Because we already know we're getting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at the end of this month. Then during the summer, we're supposed to be getting Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail and the second DLC for Final Fantasy XVI. And then, somewhere in the mix, we're supposed to be getting Elden Ring. And so
a lot of stuff has your attention already.
Yeah, it's already a lot of things piling up, and we're still in the first week of February, and I'm already behind.
I hear you. I have to hold your horses. I'm doing too much.
But it's a great thing that like we're in February, and already this year we've had Tekken 8, which has been huge for the fighting game community. We've had Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, which is like a great multiplayer or single player kind of hack and slash, mindless, like just pure fun game. And then we've had Persona 3 Reload, that if you're a Persona fan or a fan of like turn-based JRPGs, that's one of the best ones you're going to get for the next couple years. And then for action RPG fans like myself, we're getting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at the end of the month, and then we're also getting, I just completely lost it, Stellar Blade at the end of April. The day after my birthday, we're getting Stellar Blade. So,
damn, we got a pretty jam-packed year still, don't we? Like, it's February.
So then the next game we have is Legendary Tales, which is like a physics-based. It was one of the worst-looking games they showed at the entire State of Play, but that's because it's a VR game, and It's really physics based. It's like they showed at one point a guy stabbing a skeleton with a sword and then grabbing the skeleton and throwing the skeleton and the sword flying out and hitting another skeleton, and the skeleton that he threw hit another skeleton in the room. And it has multiplayer. Like, it sounds like a lot of fun, but for me, I don't have a PSVR 2, and neither of the VR games they showed today moved the needle on me getting them.
Still there. Oh my goodness, that's bad. If we could take like one break, I gotta ask you a question about Apple Vision Pro. Have you seen that in action yet?
Yes, I not like eyes on. Like, I haven't gotten to use one yet, but yeah, I've seen a lot of the reviews. I've seen a lot of, like, MKBHD's been all over it, so I've been watching all his videos. I've watched a lot of stuff from The Verge. Casey Neistat put out a video.
Are there demos at Apple stores now, or like are we waiting for those to come out?
They might have started. That's not something. I'm not in a rush because because Apple always puts out the Pro product. There's the iPad Pro. There's the Pro iPhones. There's the MacBook Pro. They started off this with the Apple Vision Pro. I'm waiting for them to be an Apple Vision that isn't $3,500. Right. The Apple Vision SE.
I got you.
When that happens, like, it took them taking this first step to eventually get it to where it's a consumer level product, and it's going to become ubiquitous like the Apple Watch, like the iPhone, like the iPad, like just go down the list how iPods used to be.
Insert thing here. And I gotta tell you, like it sounds pretty damn incredible. Like I've seen it in action before. It looks gorgeous. Like the way it interacts with everything, where like you can still see the world around you, even though like it's on your eyes. Like it's pretty damn impressive. I know I've seen videos of people like driving cars while wearing them. I'm not sure how legit that is, but like it's still.
I saw someone get arrested for using an Apple Vision Pro while driving.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like again, I don't know how legit that is or not, but like it's still pretty. It's pretty interesting to see all this, and like it is the future, and like I love technology, man. I just love it.
Yeah, it is the future. Like, VR is in an interesting place. It's to the point where people like have gotten used to developing for it. So like now, we're less in the proof of concept. Like if you've ever used any VR in any way, shape, or form, you for the most part understand how they're all going to work across the board.
Right. And
this is kind of like Apple, considering it's a full VR headset, but one of the primary things...
Isn't it more of like a AG AR than a VR, though?
It is AR, but like typically with AR, you're not looking at it... The entire time you're using an Apple Vision Pro, you're looking at a screen, and it's using cameras to pass through all the information around you. You're not actually looking through the headset, and it's just kind of like a display overlaying things into the real world through you actually looking through the glass. Because that's what I'd more so consider an AR headset. It's something that is like, it's not a camera showing you a feed on a screen of what's going on around you. It's you actually looking through the headset at the real world, and then it using the glass to overlay things, but at no point are you like looking entirely at a screen, which is what you're doing with the Apple Vision Pro.
Gotcha.
Because
all right, I can get that. No, I get you. You gotta have some real with it when it comes to AR. I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I hear you. That's fair.
Because
or accurate. Whichever word you want to use is accurate. Yeah.
So, yeah, I do agree with you that this is where we're heading with computing, and like this is the future, and it's really exciting. But also, I don't have $3,500 for anything, much less a first-gen Apple product.
Ever. Hey, I love Apple. I really do love Apple products. I really, really do. But not a chance. No, unless I got the money, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to buy something from Apple when it first comes out. That's ridiculous.
Right, and not the only things that we know for certain that are going to happen with the Apple Vision Pro from here on is it's going to get cheaper and it's going to
Yeah.
get better.
Yeah.
So you only benefit by waiting.
I mean, with Cook at the helm, that's always going to be the case. That's like the complete opposite mentality that Jobs had. But yeah, that's exactly what Cook is doing. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely going to be the case sooner or later.
It's only going to get iterated and like sharpened to a
Yeah.
fine point, and and the price they're going to have. There's probably in 10 years going to still be one that's $3,500, but there's definitely within the next 10 years going to be one that's under $1,000.
It is the Apple way.
Current Apple.
You can change the business a little bit, but you can't change what it really is. Which is making new stuff and get rich people to buy it, then sell it to poor people in a cheaper manner and fashion. Yes, that's Apple. That's always been Apple.
Probably always will be.
I agree. I think it will be. I know, like we're just talking out our ass, but I definitely think it always will be for sure.
I mean, it's a $1 trillion company for a reason.
Like, why would it change its fucking ethics now? It wouldn't.
Right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That is the Batman way. Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, sticking on this VR train, the next game alphabetically, and this was kind of an interesting part of the show because they showed this game first, then they showed Legendary Tales, and these two were like the VR segment. They showed the next mainline Metro game, Metro Awakening. It's coming to PlayStation VR 2, and it's one of the best looking VR experiences I've seen personally.
So hoping you were going to say that. I was so hoping you were going to say that.
I mean, like, I'm not a Metro fan. Like, I've watched people stream some of the earlier Metro games, and it's not really, like, my style. Like, I'm way more, like, cyber ninja aesthetic versus, Russian Soviet era underground railroad punk. But,
But it looks good for what it is.
Yeah, it, like, as somebody, like, I don't have a PSVR 2. I don't have any current VR headsets, so I'm probably not going to play it. But, like, if somebody had a PSVR 2 and was asking me to recommend games for them, this would be on that list.
See, days like this is when I miss going to Best Buy and just using all their demos as much as I possibly could, just so I can get an understanding of everything. I miss days like that.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, PlayStation VR 2 would be interesting if it weren't $600. That seems to be my main barrier with a lot of VR right now. It's not something that's necessary, and it's something that the Quest 3 is $500. PSVR 2, $600. The Valve Index is probably over $1,000. So, yeah. I do have a PSVR 1 and a Oculus Rift S, but neither of those are hooked up right now.
I was going to ask, like, could you hook those up, like, to the Twitch and use those as a live stream, or is that possible?
Yeah, I streamed from PSVR 1 once. And the latency, it wasn't the best. And the thing was, like, to look at chat, I would have to take the headset off. Like, I was playing Beat Saber. And so, like, in between songs, I would have to take the headset off to look at a screen to see chat.
Makes sense.
But, yeah, and then the music and the, like, movement didn't sync up correctly.
Did sync up well? That makes sense, too, yeah.
But,
that's
I mean,
I was thinking was going to happen. The newer ones are probably better, all right?
Yeah, definitely. Because a lot of those, like, PSVR 1, like, inside-out tracking is, like, now kind of the standard for VR, but PSVR 1 had a camera that had to outwardly track you and your position, and, like, light could interfere with it and stuff like that, whereas now they have just sensors inside all the headsets that are scanning, like, they're positioning the headset based on, like, where it physically is instead of where it physically is in relation to something else that could get interference between the headset and the base station or the camera or the whatever you're using to track that. So yeah, I'm sure that everything has been improved since the last time I used VR.
That's really cool. Like I do want to check out the Vision Pro, but I do want to check out like the new PlayStation goggle. I want to check out the new Oculus too. Like I think I'm done being as upset with Zuckerberg as I once was, and I want to check out his fucking Oculus Rift now.
You mean the Meta Quest?
Ugh, God. Yeah, that thing. That's a horrible name, but yeah, that.
All right. So
I was on a hard on for disliking that guy for a long period of time. And like I can't even remember why.
I mean, you know, he's not exactly the most likable person.
It's not. No.
So
Does a lot of shady stuff for money.
all right. So the next game we have on the state of play list, we're more than halfway done, D. Don't worry.
All right, I'm listening.
Uh,
I usually I have like I pull up videos so I see what you're talking about, like, or I pull up links like I read what you're talking about as you're talking about it. This is like stressless. Like I'm just listening to you talk now. This is a good time.
yeah, and I mean, you're asking the questions that need to be asked so that, like, I'm not just talking and you're looking at it, and then it's like we have the understanding, but, like, the listener doesn't, so.
Wink.
Rise of the Ronin is the next game. That's the newest game from Team Ninja. It's another PlayStation second-party game. I think we got 3 total PlayStation second-party games over the course of this showcase. And this one's Team Ninja, the developers of Wolong Fallen Dynasty, Neo, Ninja Gaiden back in the day. Like, Team Ninja's been around, and one of the things that last year a lot of people noticed and then actually started to praise Team Ninja for doing this is that they reuse a lot of their assets from game to game. Because it's like, if you're going to make multiple games set in feudal Japan, why would you need to remake this boss asset if like you need a brute samurai? Like, why would you not reuse the same brute samurai model and animations and stuff from your other games if it's going to help bring down development costs, bring down development time, let you put out more games of a higher quality more consistently? Like, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
So
what's the gameplay like? Have you seen the gameplay for this yet?
yes, and so the gameplay, one of the things is they'll reuse these assets over and over, but they'll be in different gameplay settings, and that's what makes them interesting. So, like, Wolong was kind of a Souls-like, and then they did Wild Hearts, which was a Monster Hunter style game, and now Rise of the Ronin looks like Ghost of Tsushima mixed with Assassin's Creed. Looks like Assassin's Creed in feudal Japan.
Nice.
So,
okay, I can rock with that.
Yeah, they're beating Ubisoft to the punch, because I know Ubisoft in the next couple of years is going to try and put out Assassin's Creed in Japan. I think that's what Codename Red is. And Rise of the Ronin is just going to be there first.
That sounds like a game that's up your alley.
Yeah, it looks interesting. The only thing is, it comes out the same day. It comes out the same day as Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh yeah,
and those are both with less than a month after Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
And you got to get that one for sure. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I already have the digital deluxe edition of that pre-ordered. Like,
oh shit, you're ready?
Yes, right. I'm ready for that.
We're getting this game.
Yeah, I want to platinum it. Like, I've kind of been on a good run of like platinuming like the big games that are important to me. So
right on.
I know it's going to take a lot more time than it took for like Final Fantasy 16 or even Spider-Man 2 to do Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but yeah, that's one of my goals for this year is to platinum Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh, look at you. Right on, man.
All right. So next up, we got 2 Silent Hill games back to back. We got Silent Hill: The Short Message, which was a free-to-play shadow drop. It's available now. If you got a PS5, you can go download it, check it out. I hear it's not very good. I hear it is not the best use of your time. Uh, Even Chris, like the big horror game fan on
Right.
Cheesy
He talked
Controller,
about that a
he
lot.
didn't
Yeah.
even get around to checking it out yet, and it's free.
It just looks sad. Not. Oh, jeez. All right.
Like it's 2 hours top, so like if you really want to see what it is, but
And it's free. That's not bad. Yeah.
yeah. Trigger warning: it deals with suicide, so
Oof. Yeah, I would be out. Well, all right. Well, maybe I'll check it out a different time. Maybe not in January. That's too horror for me.
right. And so then the other Silent Hill game we got some more information on is the Bloober Team Silent Hill 2 remake,
Right.
which I remember when they first started talking about this, I said I didn't have faith in Bloober Team to
Yeah,
produce
you said that.
something, and it doesn't look like they're going to produce anything worth playing. It looks
Ooh,
like somehow this version is going to be worse than the original Silent Hill 2.
damn.
So, I mean, and this is just based off what they've been showing. And if what they're showing doesn't even look good, like, I can't imagine what they're, like, trying to keep under wraps, you know?
Do you think the Silent Hill franchise is struggling a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, like, pretty much everything under Konami except for, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, those two seem to be doing fine. But Metal Gear's not really in a good place.
Not.
Contra's not really in a good place.
It is not.
Castlevania has some great anime on Netflix,
But that's about as far as it goes. Yeah.
right. So, but I mean, we did get TMNT Shredder's Revenge, which is an excellent video game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is still going strong.
You were
So,
still
like,
playing that hard. Yeah.
but I mean, as far as like we haven't gotten a Bomberman game in a few years. We haven't
What the fuck
gotten.
has happened to Konami? That is a very good question.
Well, Konami, at one point they said they were just completely done with games because, like, as far as their business goes, games are like a minor portion of their business because, like, in Japan they're responsible for like health clubs and pachinko parlors.
Oh,
And,
really?
like, yeah. So gaming is just kind of like one of those things that they just happen to do, like, as a byproduct.
There's someone who's good and cares about it. Fucking hell, Konami.
Right.
Jeez.
Like Yu-Gi, they're responsible for Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So, like, that shows.
But still, like the gamers like a good Konami game, and Konami knew how to make a good game back in the 80s and 90s. I'm
Right.
dating, but still, like you know,
Yeah, but I mean,
even
Castlevania
like,
Symphony of the Night, like, is one of the, like, there's half a genre named after it.
yeah,
Metroidvania. The Vania is Castlevania. Like, if we could even, but I will give them credit, that Dead Cells Return to Castlevania DLC is really good.
okay,
So, like, if you want a good Castlevania game, just go play Dead Cells. And then if you, like, if Dead Cells isn't Castlevania enough for you on its own, they have straight up Castlevania. Like, you'll be able to play, like, with Alucard. I don't know. I just played as, like, the default character, and there's a certain point. I didn't even get to make it to the castle, because that game's hard.
all right. Can we take another little break and just say something else to you? I finally finished watching Gen V.
And
You watch Gen V?
No, like, I have little to no experience with The Boys or any of the Boys
Really?
extended universe. Yeah. It's because
After one-
I blame Amazon Prime Video being bad on, like, like, me falling behind on Invincible, me not really, like, keeping up with The Boys.
How long has it been since you've had Prime?
Hmm?
How many months has it been since you had Prime?
A lot of years.
It's revamped itself. Like it's updated the system.
Yeah, I've seen the last few times it's been better than I was, like, expecting it to be. It's still just like the recommendations don't show up on the home screen of
Yeah.
my TV. Like,
They fixed all that. But I get you. Like that, it threw me off for a long time too. It really pissed me off because it was one of the worst ones out there, and it was one of the most expensive. Well, only because like it was a part of the package of everything else that you had, like so you had to have it.
right.
So it was kind of annoying. Like I had to have this, but I want to watch stuff on it. But like it's so hard to watch things on it. But yeah, if you get a chance, watch Gen V, and if you haven't seen The Boys, it is fucking incredible. didn't think it was gonna be this good, but it's really fucking good.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't. There hasn't been a lot going on currently that I've been keeping up with as far as TV wise. Like
Yeah.
there are no like actively running Marvel shows or Star Wars shows or.
None of that. None of that for you.
I,
Nothing new.
well, I'm almost done with season 2 of What If. I might have finished that. But Echo definitely like didn't interest me at all.
It was a mixed bag for a lot of people.
Yeah. I watched the first episode and was just like, I'm good. I don't need to.
Oh, yeah. It's hard with a show like that hits like in that wrong way. Like you can't even give it one episode. You're like, yeah, no, I feel that. It was me with WandaVision, so I hear you. But what was the one? Reacher. I just finished Reacher also.
Okay.
Oh, it's also on Prime. I know, but like, it's really good. I was on a Prime binge. I also watched Has Been a Hotel, and it's a musical, and it says 16 plus, but it feels more like 18 plus. But it's a raunchy musical about people in hell trying to get better. It's like The Good Place, but different in a way. It's a fun show.
Okay. Well, yeah. While you're on Prime, you should check out Vinland Saga if you haven't watched that yet.
Oh yeah, what the first season? I was watching it on Netflix. It's only in Japanese, and the story's a lot different in the first season, but it is good. It has a lot of substance to it. You really learn about the characters in the second season, and my goodness, oh my God, Finn, oh jeez, that kid going through a lot, man, like a lot.
And then he goes through a lot as a man. I suggest you check out season 2. You know, like.
Oof. Ooh. We talked about it on the show a few times on FTL podcast. You gotta listen to it. Wool spoilers if you haven't seen it. I'm gonna just talk about where I got to so far in the show. Finn gets put into slavery, and he's okay with it. The whole damn season, he's okay with it. It's like he's punishing himself, and I can get where he's coming from. It's so crazy.
Yeah,
it's good. It's really it's a lot of touching moments inside of it, as in humanity. But man, oof, you prepare yourself. It's a rough show to watch.
Yeah, and I mean that's one of the things drawing me to check it out on Prime. It's just because, that's one of the other things that's on Prime that it's if only, it's still not good. I know it's a lot better than it used to be, but it's still not good, D.
Is it not on Netflix anymore?
Oh, so yeah, season 1 is, but season 2 I think is Prime.
Oh, I thought it was on there as well. All right, there you go. I don't have Netflix anymore. Well, not right now. Going through a transition.
Well, I mean, I don't think Netflix has put out anything too groundbreaking so far this year.
No, they haven't.
They're taking the Pokemon Journeys animes off in March, and I've actually been watching those recently. The Master's Journeys were it's the Ash fighting just the strongest trainers of all time.
Where's it going? Do you know?
Oh, so Pokemon currently has a streaming service called Pokemon TV where they rotate in and out episodes and seasons and movies and different Pokemon content.
Is there a fee?
Right now it's currently free, but that is also getting shut down in March. And so they're probably going to launch a new Pokemon subscription service that's just going to have everything on it. Hopefully.
They're doing too much. These streamings are doing too much.
Yeah, they are. But if somebody, if Disney felt like they could do it, Pokemon's bigger than Disney. Come on now. Pikachu had, Pokemon is one of the most profitable entertainment properties ever.
Yeah, but Disney has more content than Pokemon does.
I'd be willing to argue that because...
Oh, yeah?
You know how many seasons of the Pokemon... The Pokemon anime has been going pretty much non-stop since the 90s.
this has been going pretty strong since the late 40s. Yeah, I think this thing got to.
Yeah, but you don't have to trim much of the racism off of Pokemon. You do have to trim a lot of it off of Disney.
That is true. That is true. And the misogyny. Oh yeah. Oof. Oof. You're not wrong there. That's funny.
So speaking of something, let me not do that transition like that. The next game in the state of play is Sonic X Shadow Generations, or Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. If you are going to look this game up, the Generations port is very important.
Okay.
Because Sonic X Shadow is something totally different, and yes, very not safe for general consumption.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
You talk about how Shadow wasn't like the gun carrying Shadow. You're talking like this is not for kids. I got you. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Shadow the Hedgehog, as far as like the GameCube, PS2, Xbox game, where he was toting a gun, and like you get to see the human girl that like set his life into motion. Like you get to see her get shot like 50 times over the course of that game. And I remember it was the first game that I played that was rated E10 plus. It was everyone 10 and up, and it's because every time Shadow got hit, he said, "Damn."
That's right. I forgot about that. That's right. Every time too. Oh man.
Right. So it's going to be interesting. Sonic Generations was like one of the last like really good Sonic games.
Oh, I hear.
And so on the PlayStation end, we haven't been able to play this game since PS3. On Xbox, it works through backwards compatibility, but now they're adding Shadow content to the game. I know Shadow is a fan favorite character, so.
No, he's interesting. I wouldn't say he's like a favorite of mine. I've been watching that show on Netflix.
Sonic Prime.
He's cool at that.
And he's going to be really cool in the third Sonic movie.
That's right. They're talking about who the fuck did they say going to be a Shadow? Somebody really cool. I forgot who the fuck it was. It'll come to me eventually.
I'm looking for it.
The rumors about who they think is going to be. It's going to be like a real known actor. But like it fits to be Shadow. I forget who that person was supposed to be rumored to be. We'll figure it out.
Oh, some of the rumors I'm seeing are ridiculous. Robert Patterson or Keanu Reeves? Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog would be awesome.
I don't think that'd be a good mix. That's not those. I don't think those are any of the two options I heard either.
Okay, so the next game on the state of play is Stellar Blade. It looks like Korean knockoff Nier Automata, and I'm here for it. As a huge fan of Nier Automata, like I will take a cheap imitation. It comes out the day after my.
I wasn't sure if you're gonna be for it until you said that.
Oh yeah, I'm totally here for it. Like since they announced it as Project Eve, like during the PS4 generation, it was like, oh yeah, this looks good. And so
you're big Nier Automata guys. I wasn't sure you're gonna be like you said cheap knockout. Like, oh, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Like Anton's here for it.
Right, yeah, I'm here for it, and it's coming out the day after my birthday. So
this has been like a good little state of play. Like,
yeah, it was kind of set up like the first half of the year pretty well for PlayStation. Like it's no first party games. We got no announcements of new first party games. No new news on first party games. None of that. But
Tekken just came out, right?
Well, that's not first party.
No, I'm just saying. But like Tekken just came out. Like in what you said, we got 2 more games in the next 4 months. Big games that are coming out. That makes sense too.
We've got more than that because like I haven't even talked about Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and that is a huge hitter coming from Sega.
Okay.
Well, that's already out. But yeah, that is one that like I wouldn't have enough time even if like that were the only game I was playing this year.
Is that big or just that?
Yes.
Okay.
That game has an entire Animal Crossing game in it. It has an entire
Oh,
Crazy Taxi game in it. It literally has the entirety of Virtua Fighter 5 playable within the game. It has, yeah, there's just so much. And that's on top of like the 100+ hour story mode. That's like the
hmm.
conclusion to like one of the main characters of the Yakuza franchise. Like it's the finale of his story arc. So
That sounds emotional.
yeah, he got the Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, that came out late last year. That was
Right.
like setting up where he was going to be in this game, and I mean they talk about it in trailers, so I guess it's not spoilers. But he's been diagnosed with cancer, so
Mm.
it's going to be interesting to see how they like finish off that storyline. Like I don't know if he lives or if he dies. Like that seems to be like one of the big things that longtime Yakuza and Like a Dragon fans like they're looking to see like the final. This is this character's final game.
Sounds really interesting. Like I do like when there's a shared property, like with DC and Marvel shit like that, but also with video games, they get handed off to different creators every so often. Like I love like a good story that just gets handed off and changed and moved around. It could be because of my comic mentality, but like stories that get like morphed and changed around and people like really get into it. That's one of like the fun parts about playing games or reading a comic or being a part of something that's a sequel or part four or whatever the hell, like, to any kind of book,
Right.
movie, or franchise. I love stuff like this, man.
The infinite wealth is that it is so the infinity is kind of like askew because
Mm-hmm.
it's the eighth mainline game in this franchise. So, and that's not counting A Man Who Erased His Name. That's not counting Like a Dragon Ishin. That's not counting. That's not even counting Like a Dragon Zero and then the 1 and 2 remakes.
Huh? Is the reason why like those aren't counted?
Well, I mean, Zero's a prequel to everything, and
Okay.
then like Kiwami 1 was a remake of Yakuza 1, and Kiwami 2 was a remake of Yakuza 2. So, like, those kind of just replace those. And then the reason they don't count Man Who Erased His Name is because it's like a side story, and Like a Dragon Ishin is basically a spin off game. It's not like a core entry. The story isn't vital to, like, because it takes place in feudal Japan. It takes place hundreds of years before the events of even Zero, which takes place in the 80s, all the way like so Zero takes place in the 80s and then it like goes through time all the way up to present day. Like I want to say Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth takes place in 2023. So did I lose you? I can't tell if you're frozen or just being really still. You might just be frozen. So I'm gonna fill air and hope D gets rescued from the doldrums of the internet. I don't know what the deal's been this week. Madrid, he couldn't do video and audio during yesterday's episode of Cheesy Controller, and now D's completely frozen on today's episode of Table Cheese. I don't even know if he knows he's gone. He probably does because he doesn't hear, or maybe he can hear me and I just can't hear him. There's a lot of possibilities that could be going on right now. But yeah, Death Stranding 2. Anybody listening, go check out that trailer. Like, I can't do it enough justice. Like, there's a puppet in the trailer that's animated on twos. And for, like, we don't know why. And it probably doesn't make the most amount of sense, even if you did know why. So it's going to be something to keep an eye on. Let me text Dee. Hey, you're frozen on my end. Send. No. Hopefully he wasn't abducted by aliens. It's a possibility. I mean, it's always technically been a possibility, but it's more realistic of a possibility in 2024. Okay. Well, I'll read these last 3 games. Oh, he's completely gone. Let me see. How can I do this? Nope, not that one. That one didn't work. That one's also not working. This'll work. How's it going, everybody? I'm going to finish off the episode, I guess, solo from here on out. All right, so third to last game, we got Until Dawn is getting a re-release on PS5 and PC. Early generation PS4 gem, like big for horror fans. So that game's getting another shot. Apparently there are rumors going around about an Until Dawn movie, so it makes sense to re-release the game as a tie-in for the movie. Then we're getting V Rising, which is a vampire survival game, not to be confused with the Vampire Survivors game. It's like a survival game in the sense of Pal World, Minecraft, Rust, like any of those games. V Rising is essentially that, but you're playing as a vampire. Has an isometric view. Made me think it looked like Diablo, but after talking to Jalen, who had actually played the game, I realized that it has almost nothing to do with Diablo and that it's a lot closer to a Rust or that sort of game. And then last, alphabetically, we have Zenless Zone Zero, the new game from Hoyoverse. We officially have confirmation that it's coming to PlayStation 5. So then that's Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and Zenless Zone Zero. All will have official native versions running on PlayStation. And I mean, I know that's where a lot of their audience for those games are. So it's great that their next game is going to be available there. Looks like Dee's popping back into this dimension. Welcome back, Dee.
I appreciate it. Did you keep the show going without me?
Yeah, I went through the last 3 games. I can go back over them if you want to ask any questions about
No,
it.
you're good. You're good. Like, you kept the show going. It's awesome. Yes.
Well, the only hard part was finding an overlay in OBS that worked with just one person. So, like, there's a little bit of me clicking around trying to find that. But other than that, I think it went well. You know, you can throw in a little ad break right there. Clean it up significantly. All right. Well, was there anything else you wanted to hit before we wrap for the week, Dee?
No, that is it. I'm not even. You don't have to tell me again. But like my audio went out through everything you had just said. But like it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll hear about it when I listen to the episode because I'm gonna have to listen to it to hear this mess up and hear what you talked about. Make sure you guys check in on your people. Make sure you drink water, and it's Black History Month. I didn't talk about this in the FTL podcast. It's Black History Month. I have not really openly said those words this year yet. 2 years I haven't celebrated Black History Month because I told myself I do stuff for Black people all the time. So it's an everyday thing, and I forgot the importance of celebrating Black History Month. It is a good feeling, like to just not have to do FTL stuff and just look at Black History Month content. Look at people celebrating Black History Month, and I know we don't do something like this on this show usually, but like I forgot how much that month means to me. Like, it means something to me. I think I got lost in the sauce with FTO. Like, it's a very important month.
Yep.
So yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Got to reflect on Black history to make Black future.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You get wrapped up in yourself. You gotta forget that kind of stuff sometimes. Yeah, that's why we have these holidays at times. Yeah, you're absolutely correct, Anton.
All right. Well, until next time, you can follow me on Instagram at Anton the number 6 with 2 X's. D, where can people find you?
You can find me at FT Nerd Talk, wherever you find FT Nerd Talk. I may start giving my personal Instagram out there. No, I'm not gonna do that. Even saying it out loud, like, nope, take it back. Not gonna do it. But yeah, FTO Nerd Talk, wherever you find FTO Nerd Talk.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in to this installment of Table Cheese. Until next time, keep it cheesy.
And take it easy.
Hey guys, D here of FTO Nerd Talk. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about FTO Nerd Talk. Got a lot of different shows for all of you. Make sure you tune in every week for a brand new episode. Take it easy.